Hello again, rail fans. Welcome back to another Double B Rail production. Today, we will be out on the CPKC yet again, and funny enough, we were starting at Mannheim Station, and the first train would be UPY CPPR pulling out of Bensenville. Then we see the CP Bensenville intermodal switcher IY11 shoved by CP 6222. Next, we'd see Milwaukee District West 2701 hauled through Mannheim by Metra 413 Operation Lifesaver Unit. Next, we'd see CPKC 148 working Bensenville Yard. Next up would be inbound Metra 2704 rounding the curve at Manheim Station, pushed by Metra 502. Next, we'd see CPKC 646, well, its power at least, pulling up all the way to Franklin Park by B12, and then reversing back into Bensenville and dropping off the two trailing engines in the second and third position, and then the solo CPGE would pull back onto the 646 later in the day. Next up would be Metra outbound 2703, led by Metra 426. Then we'd see 646's power reverse into Bensenville Yard. Next up would be inbound Metro 2708, pushed by Metro 413. Then after 646 dropped off the two trailing units, 8013 could go out of Bensenville Yard and back onto the main line to couple up back to his train. Next up, we see CPKC 247's power working Bensenville with two NS units and the two trailing units on 646 that got put on. Then we saw 148 pushing into the intermodal facility. Then we'd see CP 8310 shoved back onto 646. And our final train at Manheman Station would be CPKC I-41, led by two KCS bellies in the lead. We'd then move over to B17 to see inbound Metro 2712, but on the way there we would see two trains. UPM ALG3 led by 5 Union Pacific GEs, and the second one being CP Local led by 2 X-Sioux lines. One of them still have the Sioux line paint scheme. We'd then move over to Northbrook for the rest of our time railfanning. Our first train would be outbound Metro 2603, led by Metro SD70 Mac 500, the RTA Heritage Unit. Next up would be inbound Metro 2608, pushed by yet another MAC 508. Next up, we'd see Amtrak 333, the Hiawatha service from Chicago to Milwaukee, led by a Charger and pushed by Amtrak 9221, the Veterans Unit. Next up would be CPKC 146, led by a KCS GE with a friendly crew and a CNX City Rail mid-DPU. Next would be Amtrak Hiawatha 334, led by two Chargers hauling to Chicago. Next we'd see would be CPKC 246, led by two foreign leaders and a KCS mid-DPU, and in the middle would be an empty set of continuous welded rail cars. Next, we'd see an eastbound CPKC 540 led by an NS Ace and an NSGE pushing at the rear.
Yellow line. Milwaukee North train number 2612 to Chicago. Station is now on.
Next, we'd see Amtrak 335 led by two Chargers. Next, we'd see CPKC 249 led by a KCS GE and a KCS Belly. Next up would be Amtrak 336, led by the Veterans Unit 9221. And our final train of this outing along the CPKC would be a familiar face, being CPKC 247, led by the same power that we saw in Manheim Station, with the two NS units and the two units from 646 hauling through Northbrook. With 247 all clear A20, this would be our end to our outing. I know I've been on the CPKC a lot, and I'm trying to get to different lines in the future. I hope you all have enjoyed this video, and I'll see y'all next time.